Nearly 30 years after the High Court ruled it was a religion, the Church of Scientology continues to be controversial. Now the church is under siege again, so seriously that some are tipping its influence in Australia could come to an end.
I do want to bring the church to justice. That's what I want.
It's the church of eternal controversy that revolves amid a culture of extreme secrecy. A movement which reveres movie stars. And elaborate ceremonies featuring the religion's elite. But Scientology could be about to be brought to its knees by some of the very people who believed the message most.
I would consider a boot camp a bit more enjoyable.
Dean Dethridge is the Scientology insider who spent 17 years signing up converts to the faith in senior positions, including that of executive director. The church calls Dean and hundreds like him volunteers. In other words, it shouldn't have to pay them. He sees things a whole lot differently.
You're not a volunteer. You've got to be there on time, you've got quotas to meet, you've got penalties if you don't meet them. I was working from roughly 7:38 in the morning till 10 or 11 at night, and for a lot of that it was 7 days a week.
All for a pittance, in some cases as little as $2 a week. Compare that to the private jets and mansions of church leaders. While those at the coalface got very little except abuse if they couldn't sign up enough converts.
It's okay to tear someone's face off verbally. There's actually a term for it. It's called a severe reality adjustment.
Now Scientology could be about to cop a reality adjustment of its own, with the Fair Work Ombudsman due to release findings of an investigation it's conducted into staff conditions.
It's not sufficient to say, well, look, I'm a church and therefore these people are not employees.
Marcus Clayton from Slater and Gordon is an employment law expert who says volunteer labour is a whole lot different to what many former Scientologists claim they were subjected to.
You generally turn up because you want to and you want to help out. You're not generally subject to close control or direction from the organisation. You don't have to usually follow very prescriptive rules and manuals about how things are done.
But as we've seen in the past, the Church of Scientology reacts poorly when things don't go its way.
Just because you call yourself a religion doesn't mean you're above our laws here in Australia.
Senator Nick Xenophon is Scientology's #1 Australian critic.
It's an organisation that abuses its followers and viciously targets its critics and seems largely driven by paranoia.
He says it's not only the formerly faithful who've been hoodwinked.
It's not just these individuals who have missed out, it's Australian taxpayers who've missed out because wages and taxes haven't been paid on people's hard work.
Former so-called volunteers are venting on a series of weblogs.
This will be far more damaging to the cult than the Senate inquiry.
We don't want a get-out-of-jail-free card for the Church of Scientology.
This will be the end of Scientology in Australia.
In fact, the Fair Work Ombudsman's findings might strike the church an even deeper blow.
You need to ask the Church of Scientology here whether head office in the United States will bail them out. It really would mess up their business model because no longer will they be able to rely on cheap, exploited labour.
If the findings go against it, the church could be up for millions in back pay alone. It told us in a statement that all religious work is done by volunteers, that working is a manifestation of their beliefs, and that they do so freely. At least some beg to differ.
I want the church to be brought to justice and corrected or wiped out.
And you can find the entire Church of Scientology statement on our website, and we'll be sure to bring you the Fair Work Ombudsman's findings when they're released.